truck's guts.
Well, a beautiful day out here at Pheasant Wood Circuit. Weather's a little bit overcast, but going to be a warm one nonetheless, I think. Here with a couple of little Mitsubishis and a VW. Should be interesting to see how we go. Of course, we've got the shoestring Cyborg, and got a nice new little gearbox in that one with some better gearing and some slippery. So let's hope that gives us some sort of little advantage. And little Tommy Mackin Lancer. Well, we've done nothing to it, so we're not expecting great things. But that's cool. Let's see if a $50,000 V-dub can beat a $500 Mitsubishi. It's a big ask. I don't think it's going to happen. Mr. Albon's out again for a second session. Got his sticky tyres on this time, so we're hoping for big things. We got this VW here. Unfortunately, she's missing a pedal, but a lot of VW drivers seem to like it that way. But probably a sub 1 minute car, I reckon, by the end of the day. This is Wallaby Ted who's driving, doing his best to adjust his tyre pressures, and yeah, can it beat the $500 shoestring Cyborg? We'll wait and see. What are you laughing at? Alright, bit of a passenger lap. The old diesel taking out Alex Albon for a bit of instructions. And the VW is going to pound them all the way around the track. Slowly building his time. We'll get there, I swear. Nice to have a turbo. Straight line handling, a little Scooby-Doo. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. See, Diesel can catch him on the brakes here. Obviously having an 80 kilo bit of ballast doesn't help you. Little Mackin and Lancer. Go son.
Cleaning Garage fans, let's take a look at some of the telemetry from the day at Pheasant Wood. So the best lap of the day was a 102.94. Done in the early morning session there, 9:44. Don't know if that's corrected for daylight savings or not, but let's go with that. Now, best thing about these Garmin's is the telemetry analytics. So let's go to opportunities. So there's a couple of opportunities here. There's actually two. So there's one at the top end of the straight, and then as the track sort of backs around on itself. So let's go through the first one first. Go back. Now, it's basically saying that the optimal line is 6 metres shorter than the average line of this particular driver. So let's have a bit of a look into that. So the first thing here is braking. So the fastest time was achieved when the brakes were actually put on softer, 28%, and shorter, so less braking distance. So, you know, everyone sort of thinks trail braking all the way into the corner is the way to go, but I think this particular corner is softer braking, more corner speed, shorter distance, rotate the car, and there's quite a bit of time in that particular session there. Let's go to the apex. Well, actually what it's saying is there's 0.28 seconds in this whole corner, so that's, you know, that's quite a lot. So there's some braking opportunity. The apex is basically if you turn in earlier, you will be quicker. And then apex earlier as well, which means more mid-corner rotation. So I think less trail braking all the way in, off the brakes, rotate the car, and then exit speed. And that's where there's some time. And then there's basically just the speed that it tells you here as well. So that's quite interesting for turn 1. So as we sort of said, let's go back into that. Opportunities. So the whole corner is 0.28 seconds. So that's quite a lot. Let's go to opportunity number 2. That's when the track double backs on itself on here. So there's about a tenth here, or 0.12 of a second. Let's have a look. The braking opportunity is once again, faster time is braking later and softer 5%. So very delicate braking distance changes here for this particular corner. The purple dot is the fastest dot there. So again, this particular driver is optimizing pretty well here, but there is a tenth. And if you go around all the track and find a tenth, then you're going to be very quick. Apex, turn in earlier, apex later. So same sort of thing about coming in, more weight on the front of the car, get that car rotated, but later into the corner for the apex on this particular one. It's quite a elongated horseshoe, this one, so it's pretty tricky. And speed's pretty relevant there too. There's not a whole lot in it. There's a tenth in this corner for this particular driver, so there you go. All right, let's go on. So this particular driver is doing a 102.94. There's a 102.67 in it. So that's seriously quick. And then green tyres, this thing with a better track conditions, these driver techniques, this driver will be into the 101s without a doubt. All right, let's have a look at another session. 103.59 is another driver here. So again, there's actually 3 opportunities. The same sort of section where the track doubles back on itself, the big downhill section, and then the horseshoe coming onto the main straight as well. These are all quite tricky corners. So let's have a look at the opportunities. Again, the optimal time is based on the whole session, so this is what this car can do. There is 0.3 of a second at the last corner. So that's a lot. Let's have a look where the 0.3 of a second is. You achieve your fastest time if you brake later into that corner and harder. So this is a real commitment corner, this one. So as you can see, the purple dot is the fast line. So this particular driver's got to come in, brake later, carry more speed coming into the corner, and brake harder. That might feel a little bit unnatural, but you've got to settle the car and turn it around onto the main straight. So that means you're going to use all the speed around the back, the horseshoe of the corner to get onto the main straight, because that main straight punishes you in a low horsepower car. Apex, this driver has to apex earlier. So coming in, braking harder, apexing earlier. And speed's pretty relevant there too. There's about 2 km/h difference if this particular driver does that. Let's look at opportunity number 2. Opportunity number 2, same as the previous driver, but there's actually 0.29 of a second opportunity here for this particular driver. That's a lot. So let's have a look. Our other driver had a tenth here, and I think it's the same sort of stuff. I think it's going to be braking harder. Let's have a look at what it says. You achieved your fastest time when you braked earlier and 114% harder and longer. So I think this is probably an issue here around maybe the brake pads or the friction compound or the setup of this particular car and this driver. But this particular driver's got to get the mash pedal right. And if this person does, there's time all over the show. Apex, turn in later and earlier too. So another example of coming in, more weight on the front of the car, turn it in later and get the back end to rotate round, and there's time in that. And speed's pretty relevant there too. All right, opportunity number 3 for this driver. And this is where there is some serious time to be made. 0.27 of a second for this driver. Coming down the hill, full commitment, you got to apex earlier. Let's have a look. 2 metre line shorter than average line, this particular driver. You achieved a faster time when you braked later, harder and shorter, and then it's all about the apex. You got to apex earlier on this one. So the purple triangle shows the apex, and then yeah, you've got to throw it in and cut that corner coming down the hill, because then it carries all the way down. Speed's pretty relevant there too. And then we're done. So that's our telemetry for the Pheasant Wood session. Lots of time in there, and these drivers are continually learning every track day, and they're going seriously fast.